Hey traders, this is Emperador Maximiliano back with another video for you guys. I'm going to keep this one short and sweet. I just want to focus on the pivot points and how we caught a very nice reversal off of the S3 pivot point during Friday's session. First off, let's just talk about pivot points real fast. I do want to go over anytime I use an indicator, I have that analytical type of brain, that curious brain where I want to know at least what's behind it. So if any of you guys are like me, I did pull this up. I've tweeted it before. I'll try to link it again, or you can just pause the video, take a screenshot. But this is the actual formula for how they calculate the pivot points, the R1, the R2, S1, S2. And it kind of gives you an idea of what that at least is based off of, where these levels come from. But any of you that have been following along, I've been hammering these home to you guys because in the futures world especially, we definitely see reactions around these pivot points. So let's take a look at Friday's session here. We did have a pretty flat Globex session. We caught a nice bid here when the PCE report came out, jumped up over the pivot point a little bit, failed to maintain above it, and then as we came into the New York Open right here, we started to sell off pretty violently. And we did sell off below the S1. You can see we rejected it. We sold through the S2, rejected that as well, and continued to sell off. Now, for me and my strategy, once we got this far down, so we've made this violent of a move downward, I'm not looking to open up any new shorts, right? Just risk to reward and probability based trading. For me, I'm not opening any new shorts down here. However, I am looking for a reversal area, an area where I can get long, maybe not for a long time, but at least for a nice scalp trade and potentially hold a runner to see how far it can go. Now, obviously, we use lots of different confluence, right? We have previous levels, volume shelves, Fibonacci, retracement levels, all kinds of things that you can use as confluence. But in this video, I just want to focus on the pivot points themselves. Obviously, there was some other confluence here, but as far as the pivot point and S3 goes, you notice we had a very nice reversal right on the S3 pivot point. But as we got down here in real-time trading, and I did say this out loud both on Discord voice chat and on Spaces for you guys that follow along there, as we come down to S3, I was thinking, how often do we even see S3 touch during a trading session? Same goes for R3. That is, that's a pretty extreme move in most cases. And I was thinking, hey, I should probably pull the data on this. And so I did actually do that. I jumped over to Edgeful. I'll just show you guys how to get there. So if you go to edgeful.com, go over to your futures. NQ, of course. New York session is what I have it set to. Date range last year. I pretty much don't change those much. But report type is under indicators. And then the report itself, there's the indicators. The report itself is the pivot points report. And then as I was mentioning earlier, we opened up between the pivot point and S1 right here in the New York session. So pivot point and S1, that's where we opened. So I'm going to click this right here. And you can see when we do open up between the pivot point and S1, this is the probabilities of each of those pivot points being touched. So in this case, when we were coming down, even getting to the S2 pivot point only happens 26.4% of the time. The S3, this only happens 12.5% of the time. Now, this is updated with Friday's numbers. I actually tweeted out right after we got down there. I went ahead and tweeted it out for everyone and said, hey, look, I think we're probably going to turn the corner soon, because the fact that we come down here going into Friday, it only happened 8 times over the last year out of 73 times we opened up in that area. So only an 11% chance we even get there. So once I see that and I check that number, in my brain, I'm analyzing that and I'm thinking it through going, okay, if I'm short, I'm probably going to exit here. There's only 11% of the time do we even make it this far and this big of a move. So I'm probably exiting shorts here. So I'm probably starting to cover. If I'm a buyer or I'm looking to buy and get long, we only get down here 11% of the time. I'm probably looking to buy down here as well. So to me, that was a high probability for a reversal type of spot. And so I took this trade down here, and as you can see, we had a very, very nice reaction. From here, even green candles on the 15-minute, that's about 98 points that we moved off that pivot point. That's a super nice trade, and you could have even, obviously with the whole numbers here and coming into previous value and stuff, you could have easily taken a trade just to here and had a nice trade, or started taking trims on the way and had a very, very nice trade. But the bigger picture here was, we've made such a move down. I'm looking for that reversal, right? Just based on probabilities alone and using the pivot point as confluence. And then obviously I had other confluence down here. I did have a fib extension, some other things to look at, but just based on the pivot points alone, coming down to S3 is so rare. I'm thinking most shorts are probably going to exit, and some buyers are going to probably step in down here. And we caught a very nice trade here. We actually did catch some more nice longs in the afternoon, which this was insane itself. I mean, we had, the end of month, some other factors there as well. But basically, we looked to get long here. And then even if you got stopped out, we were looking probably to get long again. I wasn't looking to short again, because the fact that we already touched this, to me, was rare enough that I said, hey, let's probably flip the bias for the rest of the day. Let's probably not look for any more shorts today. And this could have easily come back down here. I mean, but just probabilities wise, I'm thinking this is probably our low of the day. I'm looking for the rest of the action to be back upward. This was kind of my dream target, which we far exceeded that, but hey, that's great. We took a nice trade here. Once we saw some action in here, we actually had another nice trade. And then as you can see, these pivot points, even once we reclaimed through the S2 right here, we back tested it and took another big bounce off of it. So if you're not using pivot points, guys, highly, highly recommend it. But one step further than that, with the pivot points themselves, put some data behind it. If you ever see us coming to an S3 or an R3, here's some data behind where we're probably going to go. And if you see us get to one of these extreme levels, just know, hey, this only happens so often. Hey, maybe I should probably exit if I'm in shorts, down at an S3. Maybe I should exit here. I probably shouldn't enter any more shorts just based on the mathematics and the probabilities there. So anyways, hope this video was helpful, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message or DM me. And make sure, if you're not using Edgeful, go sign up now. You've got a couple days left until they unlock a bunch of new tiers, a bunch of new reports and stuff, but they are going to grandfather everyone in. So if you get in now, you're going to be grandfathered in at the current price point with all of the features. You don't have to worry about, if I'm in a middle tier, if I'm in the top tier, or the price point itself. Get in now. They're still doing a 7-day free trial, so go check them out. I'll put a link to Edgeful down at the bottom. But anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys on the next one.